making his move after seeing something like that.
He was Brazilian, gold in gold. And you can see the determination and satisfaction there from Clayton. Clayton Murphy's going back.
So the semifinals at any major championship are the most stressful race. They're way more stressful than the final. In the 800, with only 8 people making a final and most of it not running in lanes, it is extremely difficult of an event to qualify in over the semifinals. Trials is weird too. So USA's, they actually seed you in a very odd way. It's actually seeded based on your season's best. It has nothing to do in the semifinal and the final based on what you actually ran in the prelims. So prelims are randomized based on the order, and then semifinals and finals are based on your season's best. So heat winners don't get any advantage. It's based on what you've run in the season. So heats were moved around, switched around in a very odd way. I actually had what I thought was the tougher heat of the two, if there's going to be a tough heat. But again, hamstring issues all weekend. I actually had a hamstring issue prior to this race. Within 40 minutes of the race, I had a minor strain again in the hamstring. And actually, if you see on Instagram after, I actually posted the text message I sent to my wife with the question mark of even can I run? And I'm actually, at the beginning of this video, you'll see I'm actually looking in the stands at my agent and giving him kind of a I don't know if I'm going to make it or not look. So there's a lot of unknown factors going into the race, but the one known factor was I was going to give it everything I had. I was going to lay it all out there. And if my hamstring was going to tear, my hamstring was going to go, it was going to go in this race, and I was going to give my entire effort to make the final and give myself a shot at the Olympic team. I wasn't going to not line up in this race, but I for sure had doubts as to how healthy I was going into this race. So you'll see we have Drew, Donovan, a lot of solid people in this race. The heats, obviously at USA's and World Championships are stacked. At this point, you got the best of the best. You've eliminated kind of the guys who were hanging on to get in, and now you've got the guys who are there ready to run, ready to race. Kidder's in this, Donovan's in this. It's a really tough. Semifinals at major championships are extremely tough.
He glides across the track. He will be up against, though, a pretty stiff competitor in Clayton Murphy. Clayton himself, an Olympic bronze medalist, Addo, and he ran very well and very controlled yesterday in the heat.
So this moment right here, you're going through introductions. It's a nerve-wracking moment. This is probably the most nervous I am before a race at any point. When they're going through introductions and I'm not being introduced, you're really on your own on an island out there. There's nothing else to think about except for yourself and what you're about to do and what you're about to feel and the pain you're about to go through. The best thing I can tell to people is if you're in this kind of situation at any point prior to your race, is just kind of take 2 deep breaths and kind of just reset your mentality and understand that it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. It's going to be tough, but it's a challenge. It's to see how good I can be on this day. It's the payoff to what I've done all year or all month or all training cycle. You've done a lot of these workouts where you felt tough and you felt hard. Now you've got to actually show it, and you get to show it off in front of everybody. So take 2 deep breaths and reset your mentality to accept the challenge and accept what you're about to do versus letting it overcome you. And then you have to kind of, play mystery man with yourself or fight off that urge.
Yeah, but I think back to those rounds in Rio. He almost didn't get out of qualifying at the last Olympic Games, showing a little bit of...
Funny about that is I actually was going to get out anyways. I got tripped and pushed, and we had a protest filed. I got out on time, but I was going to get out anyways. I was impeded very badly in that prelim, which I think is somewhere in the depths of YouTube. We could try to find it. I don't know if it's even actually really legitimately posted, but you can actually see right there too. I'm doing a lot of hamstring stuff to try to keep that thing loose. There's so much tape on it. It's a lot of trying to keep it loose. You'll see on these every race this weekend, it was about that first 200, not trying to blow open the door and trying to risk it all in the first 150. And I'll talk about it more as it goes in. I actually felt it in this race a little bit. So again, back on that island with yourself. Where's your head at? You can see Donovan looking up. You can see Kidder all looking. You're in your head at this point. It is just you and the track. There's no one to talk to. There's nowhere for your mind to go. That's your deep breath right there. That's my reset right there. I took it right there. You can kind of even see it. It's exactly what I said I got to do every time. So make sure if you look at the best of the best, opposite leg, opposite arm. Make sure you guys are starting with that. It's super simple to forget, but it's also super to fix. So Donovan's right arm or left arm, right leg. I'm the opposite of that. You can practice this. I used to practice these starts. I would actually do standing starts just like this with cones in front of me on a very consistent basis. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that. Don't let that be a thing. Don't start with 2 feet forward. Start with 1 foot forward. Start with the opposite arm up. You run with the opposite arm, opposite leg. You want to start like that. You want to be comfortable. So again, all trials was filled with these call-ups. The whole trials was filled with call-ups. If you guys were watching the TV, there were multiple races with call-ups. It was an absolute mess. Again, call it up again.
Now this would annoy me.
Oh, so it only takes one more. Okay. Understood.
So it's not annoying. I wouldn't use it that term. It's different for us. We're not in blocks. If you're in blocks and you call it up a couple times, it's annoying. This is kind of just like, come on, guys, it's a white line. Like, you're not going to gain a whole lot of advantage stepping on the white line. So that's how I feel. But you can see I was super ginger off the line. I'm even super ginger right here. Usually, if you watch any other race series, I am out in the lead, or out towards the lead. As you see now, I'm super, super conservative. And you know Donovan's not 100% either. We kind of all knew that going into it as well. Look, gradually come across. Stop right there. No reason to go down in the lane 1, even if you're in the back. No reason to go down in the lane 1. 26, 27 through the first 200. I'm in a really good spot because I know Eric's pacing. I know Eric's got a really strong pace to him. I'm keeping my eye on 3 guys in this race. Sawinski, Brandon, Kidder, and Donovan. I guess 4. Those are the 4 guys I'm eyeing in this race. I know that they're in good shape. I know they're ready to run based on how they ran in the prelims, how they've been running all season. Eric's been running well from the front. Brandon just came off, obviously, a stellar NCAAs as well, just like Isaiah. So at this point, I get clipped because Donovan slows at 400. And he's almost running the exact same way I am. He's kind of winding it up over the entire last 500. And I see Donovan make this huge move right here into the curve. I know at this point, there's about to be a move made, which you'll see right here. They start to kind of wind it up. But I don't panic. I stay connected. I know that we're connected. I know we're within striking distance. You know you got to be top 2. You don't have to win the heat. So I didn't see what we went through in 400. But we'll get the 600 split here. See how I'm tucked back outside again. Almost the exact same camera angle as the first round. Tucked back outside. Win striking distance. Right through 200. The TV's being dumb. So we're a little bit faster. 119 probably. 118 through 600. And again, a little bit more of a windup because I had to leave it for a little bit late because it's a little more crowded at the front. But yeah, so I knew top 3. I knew at this point I had the legs. And again, here is the difference between the prelims and the semis. Put it to them in the semis. I know a lot of people don't run a lot of rounds. So if your semis is your first round, put it to them. Win the heat. Do not run easy down the stretch in a semifinals or a 2-round race. Go for it. This was the biggest confidence booster for me going into the final. To know how easy I felt over the last 100 meters and to be able to gap the way I did gave me so much confidence going into the final. 146.26, you can see right here. I am hurting. My hamstring grabbed the entire last backstretch. I am ginger. I am ready to go underneath, get my legs up, and get out of here because I'm in some pain right now. I'm hurting. And that's not breathing. That is all hamstring hurting. So, ready to go.
Clayton Murphy needed more than Donovan Brazier, and that's why he pushed hard to the finish line, because he wants to feel like, I got it. Donovan Brazier is so confident. His 2019 season was phenomenal. Of course, he lost 2020, but he's still...
Commentators kind of cracked me up over this series.
Clayton Murphy, they're wanting to say,
trials.
I belong here. I'm ready to go.
I'll talk about
remember, this is a different Clayton Murphy.
Much
better at 1,500 meters.
Commentating in track and field is frustrating. Like, they just said I'm better over 1,500 this year. 2016-17, I was just as fast. I ran 336, 351. So I'm the same person I am over 1,500. I just happen to run a 1,500 closer to trials this year. You can see me grit over the last 120, but then this entire time I am as relaxed as possible, not breaking form all the way through. And they act like, I mean, you can see right here, pause it 5 seconds before the line. I'm 5 or 6. I'm celebrating over the line. I forgot about even that. I forgot about the hold your horses. Like, I mean, this is like, to me, like, I am relaxed. I am ready to go, primed. Did what I needed to do. I won the heat. That's what I wanted to do. And that little pump was just me being like, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Did what I needed to do. Now let's break down this final because this was a fun final to be in. So I hope you guys enjoy this next video.